This is Sylvia Saber with OpTv Global headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. United States has warned that Russia is plotting to stage acts of provocation to create a pretext to invade Ukraine. A Pentagon spokesperson said that Russia is planning a false flag operation to allow Moscow to accuse Ukraine of preparing an attack. The European Union foreign ministers have warned Russia of a robust response, fearing that a cyber attack against Ukraine could prepare the ground for military action by Moscow. The response came after a massive cyber attack hit Ukraine government websites yesterday. The Taliban urged Washington to listen to United Nations and release Afghan funds. The Taliban government spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid said that the United States must respond positively to the international voice as humanitarian crisis deepens in Afghanistan. Foreign Minister of Pakistan Shah Mahmood Qureshi urged the international community to help developing countries recover from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. While addressing to the annual meeting of the Group of 77, Qureshi said that developing countries cannot recover if their budgets are further constrained by austerity packages. The UK government has apologized to Queen Elizabeth II after revelations Prime Minister Boris Johnson staff partying on the eve of Prince Philip's funeral. Although Johnson was not at either of two Downing Street parties on April 16, 2021, it takes the scandal to another level. Fire erupted in Kuwait's major oil refinery during maintenance work. Fire killed 2 Asian contract workers and 5 others critically injured. At least 9 people killed and more than 36 injured in a passenger train accident in India. Deadly incident gapped when train derailed from its track in West Bengal. A Canadian doctor delivered a miracle baby on an overnight flight to Uganda. Dr. Aisha Khatib said the baby, who is early at 35 weeks, was born healthy. Baby girl is named Miracle Aisha after the doctor. Birdwatchers flock for a glimpse of rare snowy owl in United States Capitol. The crowd gathered to photograph a rare snowy owl after they flew in from the Arctic to Washington. Italy will use the nation's sewage to predict future coronavirus spreads before they appear in testing and hospitals. It could also be useful amid concerns about shortages of testing kits. Up next, we have the national updates. Prime Minister Imran Khan held one-on-one meeting with Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa and discussed country's security situation. Both the leaders also deliberated upon the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa appreciated the launch of the National Security Policy and called it a great step. The Army Chief said that the document will help ensure the national security of the country. Prime Minister Imran Khan launched the public version of the country's first ever National Security Policy 2022-26. Prime Minister said that when people become stakeholders to save the country, it is the greatest national security. The State Bank of Pakistan has refused to open the Afghanistan Relief Fund. SBP requested the federal government to review its decision, expressing the fear that the Financial Action Task Force might impose sanctions against Islamabad. A soldier embraces martyrdom as terrorists attack military post in Jani Kale area of Banu during an intense exchange of fire with terrorists. Meanwhile, security forces killed 2 terrorists during an intelligence-based operation in Miran Shah. Punjab government has formed medical board to examine PMLN Supremo Nawaz Sharif's health reports. The board, comprising 9 senior doctors, will submit an assessment report to the provincial government in 5 days. Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmed accused that the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, is more corrupt than his brother Nawaz Sharif. He added that former rulers have reached out to the IMF 23 times in the past. The committee to probe the Murray tragedy has revealed that 20 snow-clearing vehicles were laying idle at the same place when blizzard hit the hill station last week. The report also disclosed that drivers and related staff of the snow-clearing vehicles were also not on duty.
Equal justice under law. We haven't yet lived up to that promise, marginalized communities across our nation. I'm Faisal Gill. I saw how the color of your skin, so I went to law school because I wanted to fight to make the law work for all, because I wanted to give back, because Black lives matter, because we need to incarcerate less and educate more. Deserves justice.
we have the health updates. A rare spinal inflammation called transverse myelitis listed as a side effect of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine. The European Medicines Agency Safety Committee also reiterated its recommendation of a similar warning to be included for Johnson & Johnson's one-shot vaccine. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention stops advocating nationwide usage of N95 masks to protect against COVID-19. CDC said that loosely woven cloth products provide the least protection. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. Avatar robot goes to school for ill German boy. The robot Joshi interacts with the teacher and his friends during the lessons. 7-year-old child cannot attend school due to severe lungs disease. Up next, we have the sports updates. Tennis star Novak Djokovic is again detained in Australia after authorities ripped up his visa for a second time. Immigration minister claims that Djokovic's continued presence in the country could foster anti-vaccination sentiment. The three-time Grand Slam winner Andy Murray won't play in exhibition matches in Saudi Arabia. Murray's agent said that tennis star at the stage where he will happily call it out and he will have the debate with people. Up next, we have the entertainment updates. Pakistani vocalist Arooj Aftab said to become first Pakistani to perform at Coachella Music Festival. Arooj Aftab will perform alongside A-listers Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, and Kanye West. Biopic on Indian comedian Kapil Sharma has announced. The film will be titled Funkar and will be helmed by Fukre fame director Mrickdeep Singh Lamba. A single page of original artwork from Spider-Man comic book sells for record $3.36 million at US auction. The page features the first appearance of Spidey's black symbiote suit in 1984. Up next, we have the business updates. International Energy Agency warned that the world faces more years of high energy prices. Electricity demand jumped by more than 6% in 2021 by 1,500 terawatt per hours. Pakistan has to repay foreign loans worth $8.638 billion till June 2022. The amount for repayment of foreign loans has gone up by 399% during the last 4 years. Experts warn that if Pakistan fails to resume IMF program by the end of January, full-fledged crisis will be knocking at its doors.
Equal justice under law. We haven't yet lived up to that promise, marginalized communities across our nation. I'm Faisal Gill. I saw how the color of your skin, so I went to law school because I wanted to fight to make the law work for all, because I wanted to give back, because Black lives matter, because we need to incarcerate less and educate more. Deserves justice.